about the Congress. First elected in the 6th District of Texas in 1984. Served as District 12. He's been called the House GOP sitting expert on energy policy. Has been leader in energy policy legislation. Steadfast protector of the individual rights and conservative agenda. As a ranking Republican on the Energy and Commerce Committee, he's committed himself to passing legislation promoting an environment of high supply, low demand, consumer-friendly prices, and environmental protection. Ladies and gentlemen, U.S. Representative Joe Barton.
A couple of weeks ago, there were 6 congressmen on the trip. Chairman of the delegation was a congressman in all his towns from Brooklyn. We had a sewage treatment plant in Midlothian. Anybody know? It's got to be a long time.
50 years.
How many?
Probably 50.
Yeah, I'd say probably 60 or 70, but a long time. There's not a wastewater treatment plant anywhere in Afghanistan. And there never has been. It's not like the Taliban has blown them up. It never has been. You know, the concept of schools, public schools as we know them. How long have we had public schools in Ellis County? Since the 1870s? In a country with the population equivalent of France, there are probably not 100 public schools in Afghanistan. And there never have been. You know, there are like 3 or 4 railroads. In terms of baseload power plants that are powered by hydroelectric power, coal or natural gas, they're probably less than 10. I will say this seriously, you don't read this in the paper, but we're winning in Afghanistan on a military front. The president was right to decide to send more troops there, and it's paying off. We basically have control of the country in terms of any all the major population centers and the roads and what little infrastructure Afghanistan has. What we don't have is control in the very remote rural areas up in the mountains and out in kind of the semi-desert areas where there are not too many people and there's a lot of places for the terrorists to hide. But from a military standpoint, we control the action.
Something put a smile on my face the other day. The EPA is concerned about the amount of dust in our air in Texas, and they're thinking about putting some limits on it. So I might have back down here the next time.
All right. Well, we actually do have a standard on what's called particulate matter.
No, this is dust.
Well, that's what particulate matter. The EPA calls dust particulate matter. And they have standards for small particulate matter and for large particulate matter. And periodically they tighten them up. And they're also considering classifying various ashes as hazardous material. And that's not humorous. There's no carcinogenic study that shows some of these ashes, fly ash and stuff, are a health hazard. But if the EPA classifies them as hazardous material, then all kinds of regulations kick into place, and in some cases, plants and factories will shut down. Down in the southern part of my district, the company is thinking about coming in to set up a plant to use that material to create road material, and if they classify it as hazardous material, then they won't build the plant, which means there won't be 150 jobs created in Leon County. So,
Transportation, reauthorization, and what else do you want to give? Political climate, and then
well, I think we're through doing anything that's seriously positive until the next Congress. We go back in mid-September for about 2 weeks, and then they're threatening to pull us back in for a what's called a lame duck session there for the election. I don't see that that's on the agenda to be done, so I'd say we're just going to tread water. we need to reauthorize our transportation bill, and that's one of the things that we need to do to help keep the economy, get the economy going. I mean, certainly in a state like ours, in an area like ours, there's no lack of good projects that make sense in terms of public infrastructure for highways and things like that.
The U.S. Chamber of Commerce is the world's largest business corporation, representing more than 3 million businesses and organizations of every size, sector, and region. It includes hundreds of associations, thousands of local chambers, and more than 100 American chambers of commerce in 91 countries. They are the voice of business on Capitol Hill. Each year, the U.S. Chamber recognizes members of Congress who support the pro-business legislative agenda with the Spirit of Enterprise Award. This award embodies the belief that the American free enterprise system and free markets are the key to a prosperous nation. In 2009, Congressman Joe Barton was one of those outstanding members. His crucial votes were small tax relief, trade, energy, education, and taking care of our veterans. Congressman Barton has been there for Texas, always. So on behalf of the United States Chamber of Commerce, I'm honored to present Congressman Barton with the Spirit of Enterprise Award and to thank him for supporting the business community and defending our free enterprise system. Congressman Barton.